Hey everybody, I'm going on a little trip this weekend and I've had a lot of questions about swing trading. So I'm just gonna put this video out, no editing, no bullshit. Swing trading is really just trading the strat on a bigger time frame. So you don't wanna look at it like some mystical thing. There's a few things we look to do with swing trading to increase our odds, which we'll talk about today. And therefore, those things will be important. If you already understand the strat, then you're good to go. If you don't, then I'm gonna show you one setup here. And we already talked about this before, but it's really simple. So the simple setup is this. We look for 2-2 reversals. And if you don't know what that is, this is what it is. You have a 2 up, which means a bar that's making higher lows and higher highs. So notice this low, higher than that low. That's a higher low. This high, higher than the previous bar's high. That's a higher high. So we have a 2 up. Then we have the opposite of that. Lower highs, lower lows, 2 down. So this is 2 up, 2 down reversal. Most common pattern you're ever going to see. So you can see the 2 up, 2 down here, down they go. The 2 up, 2 down here, down they go. And then the second most common pattern is the inside bar reversal. It's a 2 up, then an inside bar, 1, then a 2 in the opposite direction. So 2, 1, 2, inside bar reversal. This can go both up and down. So that's what we look for. We do this on bigger time frames. So for example, we'll go AMD on the weekly. This is one we traded this week. You're gonna see, what is that this week? That's a 2 up, 2 down reversal. We hit it short here. Our stop goes the highs of this. So we're risking $1 and we make 12. Perfect. Now, how do we make swings more probable? I would say there's 2 or 3 things. So the first thing we want to know is that of your swing trades, if you're opening trades and you're letting them play out, 20% of those will account for 80% of your gains if you're just trading reversals. As far as the 20%, how do we find the 20% that are going to account for most of your gains? That's what I'm going to show you here. So when we look at a singular stock or asset class, such as AMD, it's a stock, we only have one little bit of evidence because AMD is a semiconductor stock. So out of all the semiconductors, if it's this big pie, AMD is this little sliver of it, right? Maybe it's like 10% of it, but it's this little sliver. So we're only seeing 10% of the picture. So what we want to do is we want to also look at the sector. So AMD, its sector is SMH. What's that this past week? That's a 2-2 reversal. We just doubled the amount of evidence we have because AMD sets up the 2-2 reversal and semis, the whole sector sets up the 2-2 reversal. The next thing we can ask is, well, how many other semiconductors within that sector are also doing that? Well, here's Marvel. That's an inside bar down. That's a signal to the downside. Here's NVIDIA. Is that a 2-2 reversal? Yeah, it sure is. Right, down they go. 10%. What about LRCX? Oh, that's a 2-2 reversal too. AMAT? Ah, shoot. That's an inside bar down as well. Then we can keep going. SMCI, is that yep, that's a 2-2 reversal too. So you're going to see it's everywhere, right? We go AVGO. Is that a 2-2 reversal last week? It is, and it's already going, so it confirms what's already happening. So we can see the semis across the board, down they go. That gives you the whole picture of the semiconductor sector. The next thing is, the semiconductor sector, although it's this big pie with a ton of stocks in it, it's also a part of a bigger pie called the market, right? And the market would be all the sectors. So not only do we want to look at the semis, but we then want to look at the indices or the indexes. So what if we go to QQQ, which holds a lot of semiconductors? Oh, that's a 2-2 reversal too. So what does this tell us? We're going to have a 2-2 reversal next week. It's going to be in the Qs. It's going to be in the semiconductors. All the semiconductor stocks in the semiconductors also are going to have it. What does that tell us? The market's going to go down. Semiconductors are something we want to focus on. And all of the semiconductors, we can take them short. And we can be short all week. So you can see how it brings this kind of analysis from, okay, well, we have a reversal to definitively we're going to reverse next week and this is going to happen. And if you don't come from one chart, multiple time frames, to the same time frame across multiple stock sectors, indexes, you're not going to go from this is probably going to happen to this is definitively what's about to happen. And then when it starts occurring, that is definitively what is happening. The whole market is a 2-2 reversal down. Because not only is it Qs, but here's SPY. Oh, there's a 2-2 as well. IWM, that was already going down. So guess what? That's continuing. Dow Jones, that was already going down. So guess what? That's continuing. So the whole market at that point is going down. The semis have a reversal. We can trade the semis and hold it all week. That's how it works. Now, the next thing is, how do you know which trades to hold? Because 20% of your trades account for 80% of your gains. The ones you hold are the ones that do not reverse. So if we go to AMD on the week, anytime we're below last week's lows, we can be short. Anytime we're below the weekly open, we have evidence there's a seller this week. The day, each day will either reconfirm the direction of the week or it will not. It will negate. So in this case, we go 2 down, reconfirming or confirming the signal break. They go 2 down again, reconfirming the weekly break that occurred here, still going. Then we have inside bar, neither confirming or negating. Because it's lower highs, it's still going down. It's also higher lows, so it's technically going sideways. Then it goes inside down, it's still confirming. So sell, sell, inside bar, reconfirming signal, down they go. So as far as how we enter this, we short it here with the stop against the week. We can add to it when this goes continuation. It reconfirms our trade. It's just got to stay below yesterday's lows, and it does. Then the inside bar forms. When that breaks here, we can add to that because it reconfirms our trade. So entry small, add or hold, inside bar, add. So it's enter, hold, inside bar, add, or you can do enter, add, inside bar, add. Both of those are fine. Now let's go to one that didn't reconfirm, MU. This is the same setup. You're going to see here's your 2-2 reversal on the week, 3, 2 up, 2 down. If we took MU and AMD at the same time, which we did, MU goes 2 down, then reconfirms 2 down. Then it goes 2-2 up, we cover our short and get out. So we exit the loser either at a small gain if we didn't add to it, or maybe it's a slight loss. Ideally, it's small gain. We don't want to let green trades go red. And then if AMD goes inside down, we just add back to our winner. Because the winners account for 80% of your gains. Those are the trades that just keep going 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, keeps going. So if we cut the loser, that reverses quick, and then add to the winner, we're going to make a lot of money. And if you sprinkle that into understanding sector rotation, like I showed you, then you can make a ton of money. So not only can we short this week, but there's also sector rotation long. Let's go and show you how we found that. So what we're going to see is this. To start the new week, Lockheed Martin. This is a defense sector name because it's where they make the weapons of war, right? They broke inside week up. So that's an inside bar 2-1-2 reversal. That's something to know about. Now we're only looking at a little slice of the pie. So let's go and look at NOC. NOC is also the War Machine sector / stock. It's also in there. It's a 2-2 this week. So it's also confirming Lockheed Martin. Now we have a little bit bigger part of the pie that's confirming the same direction. Well, let's look at General Dynamics. Oh, that's an inside week up as well. So now we got 3 of 3 going up. Let's go and look at RTX. That's also an inside week up. So guess what? We've got a lot of breaking this week in the defensive stocks, or specifically, not defensive, but the defense stocks. Those are 2 separate things. To the upside. So guess what? They're selling the whole market and they're actually buying these. It's really clear. So what do? Well, RTX was actually the one we wanted to trade because the other ones were weaker. That's the last thing I want to show you. So when this signal broke on the week, we always ask, if this works, where's it going to go? In the case of an inside bar break, we always know the magnitude is the high of this bar that we were inside of. The same way you can see it goes up, inside, down, where's that going? The low of this bar. And it goes down, inside, up, where's that going? The high of this bar. So anytime above 126.61, we're looking to target 129.42. So how do we get in? Well, when it breaks that, we're in. Our stop is going to be at the invalidation or the reversal. So if this daily goes 2-2 against, we're going to get out. Then you'll see they go 2. Then they go 2. Then they go 2. Have we had a reason to get out? We have not. This is higher low, higher low, higher low. It's all confirming what we know to be true. And this actually resulted in 100% gain on weekly options next week's. Now, the reason this is better is because notice how when that weekly broke here, we're really close to changing the month green. The other thing we'll see is the month is a 1, which tells us it's not going down this month. Whereas if it was a 2 down, taking last month's lows, it would be weaker. So if we go to GD, notice it's taking last month's lows. So it's a little weaker, right? This week breaks, but the month is still red. And what that tells us is this month, if you're short, these guys get to stay short. Whereas if the month is green, you have to cover your short position this month. So this is still red. If we go to NOC, it's still red on the month. It's setting up for next month. Maybe it goes green and starts going the other way, but we need this color in our favor. And then if we go to Lockheed Martin, it's still red on the month. So why did RTX outperform all of these this week? Because it was closer to changing the month to green, which is why we alerted only that one. Let me show you. So you can see here, we said defense stocks, all strat attack, which is just something stratters say in our Discord. But we said RTX and GD were stronger ones with LMT and NOC following. So what did we mention? We're going to play RTX because RTX, the 130 call, is undervalued. It's probably going higher. So it's only $1 and you could risk about 50 cents, so $50. And in this case, it doubled. So we got a little bit of a trade out of there. Now, in this case, since the market's going down, since these aren't the strongest setups, there just wasn't as much we wanted to do. Whereas in something like AMD, we have the whole market behind it. We've got the semiconductors, and not only that, but we got the technology, XLK behind it. We got everything behind AMD. So we've got no reason to believe AMD is not going to work. Whereas with the defense stuff, it's like there's natural buyers in there. But we don't have market help, and these are still weak. They're setting up for next month. Whereas all of these things were confirming what the month was doing. They're going the other way. So it's important to understand we have more evidence or less evidence, not only based on the sector rotation, but also based on, are we green or red this month? Is there 2 up or 2 down this month? That tells you things about the market. A 2 down, if you're trying to buy, not ideal. You want a 2 up. If it's 2 up and you're trying to sell, not ideal. You want a 2 down. And if it's inside, we prefer to just counter whatever the color of that inside bar is, ideally. So hopefully that makes sense. I don't want to get too into the weeds here, but hopefully this gives you something to think about. And not only can you do this on a weekly chart like we've shown, but you can do this on the 60s, day, month, quarter, year charts. And on the yearly charts, that's where you get all the big explosive winners. And that's what you want to look for. And we'll talk about that in my monthly video coming out at the beginning of next month. So wait for that. We're going to tell you exactly what's strong and where you want to be buying when the market firms back up. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next.